Hi, my name is Kevin, Director of CM Medical, and very feel honored and excited to be here with Dr. Michael Tholey from Germany, from VITA. And also today, especially, I'd like to make this event a little bit more like a two-way and more like excited, and with three panel dentists. And with the Dr. Andrew Eve and me, and we have been like run this bread and butter digital dentistry study club for a while. Previously, we had about like a TGA regulation for clinicians, and also we do have stained glaze, and also we do have splints like night. This time we do have VITA events. And with the Dr. Andrew Ib, and we invite Dr. Tom Giblin. He's a well-named dentist in East Coast. And to make it balanced, and I invite Dr. Sonny Lee from West Coast. And he's based in Perth, but also he's running his own educational course with the name of ADDA. Let me start the presentation at the beginning before we start. CM Medical is the company that I am running with three more team members. And we provide digital dentistry products from scanner, exocad, the design service, and milling material, printing materials as well. We try to find the best product, and with a very selectively selected product with the quality service. And also we provide also design service and building service and 3D printing service. It would be great if you can drop by our website to see what we have. And regularly, and thank you for being our audience to for our newsletter as well. Thank you very much to for take this opportunity as to show my gratitude for the all the attendees today. And we have bread and butter digital dentistry study club in Facebook, and we call B2D2, and use the QR code to access to the study club on Facebook. And also, if you want, we can invite you to the WhatsApp group chat that you can share your experience or questions. And let me start to introduce Dr. Andrew. And just give me a sec. Let me activate the mic for them. Yes, turn power. And Dr. Ip, would you mind introduce yourself and also your training course? Also, that's another reason for for them to understand what's the future courses or what you have done for the training and courses as well.
Live. That's cool. It's live. But yeah, that's live.
Dr. Lee, can you hear me? Dr. Sonny Lee, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear Dr. Andrew Ives, like a mic?
Not very clear.
Not yet.
Mm. It's very quiet.
We'll try it again.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, now that's all. Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Cool. Sweet. Yep. Test. Sweet. Okay. Cool. I'm Dr. Andrew Ip. Yeah, I'm based in Sydney. I run. Oh, you guys can see me in the camera. So, but yeah, I'm based in Sydney. Been running 3D printing and digital design workshops for quite some time now. Yeah, I've been doing it for a bit, and it's taken me all over the world. Australia, Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide, and then yeah, going to New Zealand in a couple of weeks' time, and yeah, the States and Europe as well. So yeah, it's really nice to have someone else talk instead of me. So, I'm just a panelist today, so I get it a bit easy tonight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's presentation. I think it'll be quite enriching. And if you are interested in any of my future events, just let me know. Join the B2D2 study club, and you can always message me anytime. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of you there. I've got a workshop on 3D printing and milling of single units from design all the way to post processing. That's happening in November. And then in also in November, I got my 3D printing workshop at 3-day flagship events, which I hold in Sydney a couple times a year. But yeah, that's what's happening for me towards the end of this year, and looking forward to seeing as many of you online and offline, this year.
I'm Dr. Tom Giblin, a prosthodontist from Sydney, also from Bathurst. I've been a prosthodontist since 2010. Just been busy lately. Yep. Okay. Been busy lately, just opening up a new practice in French's Forest. Just taking a year or two to build. It's been challenging. Yeah, we've got a nice teaching centre just opening up there. Do a service lab. Kevin's been helping me a lot getting all my new toys, so thank you very much for Kevin. Best in the industry. And we do run a few courses as well. We've got some coming up. My go-to is my occlusion course, and also implant prosthetics course, which we're running in November. I think there's a link on the screen, but if not, trybooking.com to search for Giblin, and we can click on there. Any questions, just send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Thank you.
Hey guys. Hi. Hey, firstly, hi Tom. And I never actually met you in person or online. So, hey Andrew. Hi everyone. I'm Sonny. I'm a general dentist from WA. I've been running digital dentistry study clubs in WA for probably 2 years. I've been I'm currently a mod international faculty member, so that's the kind of work I like to do. I like to use ExoCAD. I like to do chairside 3D printing. I also have I own a lab where we do some complex Onyx work as well. And the type of education I run is really to help the community apply digital dentistry I would say in a very practical sense, in a general dentistry, in a general practice. I just can see digital dentistry really elevate the patient experience and clinician and the team enjoyment of their work. And here is my next class, which is very specific. It's about ExoCAD. Yeah, we're using ExoCAD to design everything. And I run several courses throughout the year. This is just one of the next one. And for rest of the details is in the links on the bottom right corner, the QR code. But we have a Facebook group. Welcome to join, and you're welcome to message me on Facebook if you have any questions.
Okay. Thank you for introduction. without any further ado, and let me invite Dr. Michael Tholey to lead today's presentation. And also, please feel free to bother and stop like Dr. Tholey in the middle of each slide. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And so, especially, I ask three panelists to prepare at least like a couple of questions to to make more like event more like interactive. And let's in big hands to Dr. Michael Tholey to lead the today's presentation.
So should I start? So, oh yeah, you can hear me. I hope everybody can hear me. Yeah, short introductions from my side as well. I'm a dental technician. I work in a lab, so yeah, dental technician. But then I thought I have to do something else, and I did start the engineering. And I met Michael from Sydney. Actually, he's based in Sydney. But he went to Otago, and I went also to Otago. So I did my PhD with Michael Swain on materials, on zirconia and porcelain together. So yeah, it was a really nice time. And before you ask, I support for sure the Highlanders. That's my team here down under. So yeah, now I'm at VITA Zahnfabrik. I was 13 years in the R&D department, so research and development, not rhythm and dance. And yeah, since 6 years, I'm head of the education and training. So it's some of the products we have are designed from my side. So now I have to tell you how to use it, or I should know. Let's say it that way. So yeah, I work for VITA Zahnfabrik. VITA Zahnfabrik is based in Bad Säcking, which is close to the Swiss border. We are family owned. Yeah, and last year we turned 100. And since that time, actually since over 100 years, we are focused on shade, on aesthetics. And you can imagine, and you know that, that shade and aesthetics did change over the years. Now it's getting more and more white, it seems. I do not know exactly how it is here and down under, but especially in the US, it's white, white, white. And the B1, for example, is our most selling color in the US. Yeah, but as mentioned, we did start even in 1924, where at that time we were founded as Dr. Hildebrand Zahnfabrik. He was a dentist and he had the idea to make special denture teeth out of ceramic. And yeah, also the color was very important for him. So he designed the first Farbenskala, which means color guide or color scala, something like this. And then, as said, the Rauter family took over, so they are now moved to VITA Zahnfabrik from Dr. Hildebrand Zahnfabrik. And yeah, also then it was very important to have the right shade, the right color for yeah, for all clinicians to take the correct shade, because this is the important thing, especially if you don't do the full arch or just replacing the full anterior area. Then color is important, and not only color, also the matching to the natural tooth is getting important. And yeah, 56, so 60 years ago nearly, we or VITA did introduce the classical guide, which is called officially A1 to D4 classical guide. It's made out of ceramic. And yeah, since 56, it is the main material. So when we look what we can see, you all know this, we have different wavelengths and we cannot see all the different wavelengths. We cannot see microwave, we cannot see X-ray and. But we have this area from 400 Newton meters to 700 Newton meters, which we can detect with our eyes, what we can understand. And then it's coming light source. We have a light source, we need a light source. If we do it analog, the light source is going onto the object. And from the object, we have a remission of the light to the eye. And then actually we are in our brain. We are saying that's the color X or Y. Okay. So we need a light source, and this is very important. Otherwise, we wouldn't see any color. All cats are gray. It's a saying in Germany. Maybe you heard this. All cats are gray in the night because we do not have a proper light source and we cannot see the cat properly. That's why the first question from my side, what is wrong? Rihanna song, you know it, Shine Bright Like a Diamond. What is wrong with this song? Diamond is not shining. Diamonds are reflecting, not shining. So now, if you watch or listen to Rihanna, that's alternative facts, what she's talking about, not the real facts. So we need a light source and then we can see it. And very interesting to me is also if the light source is not, let's say, the right light source, we cannot detect in our eye, in our brain, the perfect shade. So we need the perfect light source to see the object proper. Okay, it's the D55. So I hope you can see it here, but I'm sure on the screen you see it directly. The DD55 gives us other light on the tooth, and we detect. Kevin, maybe you can turn a bit the light off here in front so they can see this better. Yeah, this is better. You can see that we have a different feeling how the tooth is looking like actually, but it is the same, just on a different light source. We are calling here on metamerie. So we are called this thing metamerie. And quite interesting is, it was by a German newspaper. It is a selfie. A girl was going around in shops wearing the same stuff, but it's not only the color, you can see it, also the shape of her is changing a bit by the light. So we think it's not the same person when you just look on the body. Of course, when we see the face, it is the same person, but she looks a little bit different also under a different light. And this is also very important because shade or taking the shade is not only light, it's also morphology, it's texture. I come to this also a little bit later. But yeah, you see this. And by the way, there is a light. It's patented by Marks and Spencer. Maybe you heard this. It's a shop in England. And they have a special light that you feel yourself thinner and you buy more stuff actually. It's very interesting. Also, the supermarkets are working with light, that the vegetables are looking more fresh, more interesting, and also the meat is a different light source. So the CIE, that's a color group, they said that the best light source is the D65, which is 6,500 Kelvin. It stands for midday in the summertime in Paris with a cloudy sky. So I think for you from Sydney to go to Paris always to take the shade properly, it makes no sense. So that's why I think it's the best thing if you have a light source which has 6,500 Kelvin. And the best thing is also that the dental lab is also working with the same light source, because then he sees the same color. Then we have color perception. Depends on the guy who's looking or observing the teeth. And the eye has 8 million cones that are red, green, blue, sensitive. And at the same time, we have 120 million rods that are brightness sensitive, which means we can see lightness or brightness much better or more precise than the color. When I come later to the 3D master system, this is actually built on the lightness levels. And because our eyes are seeing the lightness levels or brightness levels much better, it makes us a little bit more sensitive on this. And just that you see it, those are the red receptor, green receptor, and blue receptors. Then another thing, when you take the shade, we have this about 9% of the male and 8 or nearly 1% of the female population is not able to see the colors correctly. I think most of you will see the numbers or the snake in the field, but this is not so easy for nearly 10% of the world population. And you see it. Otherwise, you should buy the. Then coming to this, to be honest, I don't see this properly. I cannot see this. And when we take the shade of a patient, we have the lips which are giving shadow to the tooth. This makes it again hard to find the correct shade. So we need to open the mouth a bit to find this. Otherwise, we will not detect this. But when you look on this, A and B, to me, they are looking different. But in fact, those are the same colors. Exactly the same colors. With the shadow and the play of the shadow, it looks different. And that's the thing when we take the shade. It is very important to know this, that the shadow will give us a different light thinking. Can you see it again? So just move it, and it is the same color. Then another thing which is important, the background. When we look here on the gray bar and we change the background, the bar is not looking the same because of the contrast. We have a contrast also in the mouth, and because of the contrast, we cannot detect it properly. Also, if the patient is wearing lipstick or a pink shirt or such things, it will lead us to wrong color, which we are making or designing. So just by the background, the yellow is looking different. So just one advice before I come to all the advices, take the lipstick off before you take the shade, because this can lead you to the wrong state of the teeth. So now we do this game. Please look on the star in the middle of the slide. Just on the star in the middle of the slide. You stay there. Stay there. You still stay there, please. And now are they the same color? So it needs time. They are the same. But it needs time for the eye, for the brain to recognize that they are the same. So also by shade taking, when you're looking too long on a tooth, it will give you a wrong shade. So what we say, if you did it for 5 seconds, turn around to, at the best would be a black or a gray area to relax your eyes, and then go back and take the shade again. Or go with the first thing you think, then you should be, more of the time, you should be fine. Then we have, of course, we have the other phenomenon. It's a glaze on top of the teeth because of the saliva. So we cannot see everything, especially the guys like you, which are dental technicians, to make all the stuff, or Tom, you are making also everything. So for you, it's really hard to see because of the glaze. Where are the spots? Where's this? Where are maybe some discoloration? So that's the first step. But then also polarized, you see other details you cannot detect by just taking a picture. So we do recommend, because of this, taking both pictures, taking a polarized picture and also a picture, just normal picture of the teeth so that you can see the real color, because this is actually with the glazed, but with the details you can make a much better match to the natural tooth with this. Then the next thing, which is also very important, is the fluorescence. Nobody thinks about the fluorescence, or not nobody, but a lot of people are not thinking about this. The fluorescence of the teeth, it is different. And then if you don't do it properly and you have to match to a natural tooth, you will never receive such a result. It will not look the same. So you will have some dots there or something. So you have to look at the fluorescence as well, and also on the translucency, or here in this case, the opaqueness of the teeth. Also, this is very important to match to natural truths. And we have also here the wavelength of the translucencies, which also are somehow infecting the result. We were talking before I did start about grayish effects. Sometimes it comes from the translucency. We have to block some lights from the back, because from the inside there is no light, and it can lead to a grayish effect just by the true translucent material. And very important, when we are talking about color, we need something, and we need a standard. We need a standard. Without a standard, it is just not working. So we need a standard. We need something that we can all talk about, that we can talk also now in the digital world from, let's say, we have the technician in, let's say, in Hong Kong or somewhere else in the world. We need to send things. We need a standard to talk and to find, a way to really be precise between this. So like we had here 1 yard, it was not really a standard at that time, because the yard from me is different to another person, or the food. What is the food? Because I have the size 49, and my colleagues there, they have 42, so the food is different. So food 43, sorry. 43, I'm sorry for this. But we need this also to reproduce, to have this possibility to reproduce things. So we need to define this. And with the colors, yeah, that's a lot of physics, I know. We are talking about coordinates, and the distance between the coordinates, we say it's a delta E. Delta E, by the way, E is a German word, it's Empfindung, how we feel that it is. We call about Empfindung. So for the calculation, it depends what we are doing. In this case, it's the L, A, and B. I'm coming in the next step to L, A, and B, what it is. And we are measuring it like this, and then we have this delta E. When we look now for the acceptance of the delta E, so from the distance between two coordinates, all, let's say, guys which are working and know how to deal with shape, with numbers, it's 1.8 to 0.7, which we think it's okay if we are not matching correctly. But the patient, they are till 5.5, where they are okay. This was a study of shape mismatch in Zurich University. So we see, because we are used to look at teeth every day, and I bet you all, like me, we all see when we met the first time a girl, we look on the teeth, because we are used to look on the teeth. That's the first thing. You know Jürgen Klopp, he's a German coach. You know him, Liverpool? And I don't like him anymore because I'm looking on the teeth, and they are not like I would like to do them. And that's why for me, that's... So we have all the teeth, and this is a German slide, I'm sorry for this, but we have the teeth in this color space. It's a Zahnfarbraum. This is called on in German here. So maybe this one, no, it's also English, German, sorry. So in the Zahnfarbraum, we have all the colors. From the bottom, there is black, which is in the lightness in L, it's 0, and complete white, it's 100. So L, it's from completely black to white. A is from green to red, and B is from blue to yellow. And in that area, our teeth are, quite bright or quite light. And they are in the area of reddish and yellowish or lemonish. And sometimes in publications, you see also LCH, which means C for chroma, which is the Farbintensität here on the German slide. C for chroma, and it's getting from the inside to the outside, it's getting more intense. And the H is the U, it's an angle, it's a, it's an angle in this ball. And sometimes you see those coordinates, but mainly they are the same. So you come on the same spot in the Farbraum or in Zahnfarbraum, in the color space, and there you can see it properly. So the coordinates are just here that you see it between 90 and 65 for lightness. Chroma is in 5 to 30, and the U, the angle, is between 70 and 95. There, all natural colors are in. So I'm not talking about bleach colors at the moment, so I'm just talking about the natural colors. And by the way, this is also a study from Sydney. Dr. Hall, he was here at the Sydney University, and he did focus lots of his studies on the color, on the color space. And yeah, so coming now to the two main color, color guides. We have those. We have on the left side, we have the classical A1 to D4, which was actually 56. It was an empirical method to find out where the most colors are. And then we have the 3D master. I said it's Dr. Hall actually's idea. It was not VITA's idea, to put it in 5 different lightness levels and then increasing the chroma. And on the left and right side, it was yellowish or lemonish and reddish. It's a funny story actually from from 98 when we introduced the 3D master. We had, in the beginning, we had a Y for yellowish and an R for reddish, but the Germans did not understand this. I'm not always happy to tell you how the Germans are, but so we changed it into lemonish, that we have a left and right, links and rechts. The Germans are sometimes, we could not understand the yellowish. So, coming to this, as said, it's an empirical accumulation of the colors, and we have here a problem that we have agglomeration in the middle. It's really hard to detect really the right shade of those, to detect the right shades when you are A3, B3, D3, D4, D2. It's really hard to really precisely find the right color or the right sample for this. On the other side, the 3D master, it is really very precise, and you can see the colors much better when you are used to the system. But everybody, and I have the same background, so I was trained in the VITA classical, the A1 to D4. I was trained with this. I know the colors. I see patients, and I always, that's could be a A2, and I'm thinking like this. I bet you all are thinking like this if you meet the patient the first time. But in fact, when you try the 3D master system, it is actually a better way to find the right color, and it is more precise. When we look on the A2, To be more precise, we have a little bit more reddish A2, we have a little bit more lemonish A2, and yeah, the middle A2, which is 2M2. So being more precise is also in the 3D master system. So this is the classical guide you all know. We have here the yeah, reddish area, then it's getting more brownish in the B, then it's getting gray to yellow or brownish, and then gray to reddish. It's the D area. So we have this, and since, let's say, 25 years, we also have an add-on for the bleach colors, which are not natural colors, but as said, the aesthetic is changing during the years. So also the colors are changing somehow during the years. And there is the bleach area. So now coming to a color like the A2, A3. Every company has A2, A3. But in fact, when you look on this, they are different. A2, A3 of each company is different. So that makes life not so easy, because we have to define standards and everybody is using the VITA classical guide. But look, here you see it directly yourself that they are not matching to the VITA guide. But be honest, patient will not see it. I showed it before. The patient will not recognize it, but maybe you will see this, and maybe you are not liking this. Yeah. Then the 3D master, it is like this. We have here the lightness levels, and then the chroma, which is increasing, and then from yellowish to reddish, if we have more reddish or yellowish area. And also, I think it's in Australia, it's the same. Bleaching is getting more and more important. So we do have a bleaching guide to actually to interact with the patient, to understand or tell him, yeah, look, where you are, and now there are the numbers and not the shades anymore. We put the shades just below, but in fact there are numbers. According to the AAD, it's the American Association for Dental, they say they should have numbers for the bleaching, because we are talking to patients and we tell them, let's say you are number 13 with your shade, and we had an increasing of to number 7. Let's say it very simple. So for interaction to the patient, it's more easy to use numbers and not the shades, because they will not understand what 2M2 or A3, what it means. And they are in the lightness. They are in the lightness area. So it is designed, as mentioned, it's by the American Dental Association, so you know the AAD, it's ADA. It is for bleaching, for home use, it's by them, we have a mark on it. Why is the bleach guide better? Because, and when we look on this, we can also make the classical guide, we can put it in a different way together. And we are increasing also, this is on the right side, increasing also the lightness level or the bleaching level, let's say it that way, but it's not linear. It's going like a curve. Whereas the bleach guide, it's going linear, and it's far more precise also for the bleaching. Yeah, far more precise for the bleaching. And then we all know this, I think you guys are using this as well. We have the equipment to take the picture of the teeth. This is also quite important to do this. We can use a ring flash or other flashes. What we do recommend actually for guys which are not want to invest into a really high price system, we do recommend this system. It's from Smileline. It's really simple. It's working with each mobile phone you are using. Doesn't matter it's Android or iPhone or whatever, it's working with all of them. It's really a simple method to get really a good picture of the teeth, and a mobile phone everybody has. So how to take the shape now? I think this is also quite useful to know. We have the VITA shape guide. It is layered. They are made out of ceramic, so they are not discoloring. I know that some are saying this, but they are not discoloring. They stay the same. Then the color samples teeth are designed according to the model of the natural teeth. So we have an area, the incisal area, we have a neck area. So they are like this designed. They have a cervical, incisal, and central and lateral area in this. So we have to look in the middle and the central to compare the real shade, and only that area should be used to determine the shade. Then see here, so otherwise it will not be the same shade. So as mentioned also before, standardized light. Standardized light, not under, it says here artificial light, but it means really, let's say red light or yellow light or something. Then avoid the midday sun and the twilight, because then you will not have, if the sun is coming really directly on you, it will not be the best light. Then the environment, and I know we all like fancy places, we all like dental offices with fancy, should be actually the room to take the shade should be somehow color neutral. Patients should be asked to remove lipsticks, jewelry, if it's heavy jewelry, cosmetics, we have to cover. Clothing. We had actually at the advertisement product, we had how is it called? Nip? Happy?
Okay.
Through bib, thanks. That's there, like a bib, a gray bib. We had this. I think that's also a good way. Then make this selection quite quick. As I said, 5 to 7 seconds. You should turn around and relax your eyes. Otherwise, then the dehydration of the teeth also leads us to a wrong color. And then you should have a distance between yourself and the patient, not too close or not too fast. We say that the best would be like that your arm is like this, you know, like this, not this or not that. So like we say locker in Germany, stay relaxed and take the shade. Yeah, then hold the samples directly to the patient gum, so as close as possible. It's not working always in the best way. Then the color samples parallel to the neck and to the tooth, and not incisal to incisal. And then as I said, evaluate only the match with the central area, so not with other areas. In the case of visual tooth shade determination, the shade gradient from incisal to cervical to incisal must be documented the best way. So in 3 steps, we think, especially in the anterior front and the anterior area and the anterior zone, this is important to have it in 3 steps. And yeah, taking a photo, I think this is always very good for the shape, surface, texture, and things like this. And this is also very important, disinfect color samples after or before each patient or after each patient. You should do this. And I know my friends, the technical friends, they are loving such tools. I think all the technicians are thinking this, yeah, I love this, and they love such pictures. And to be honest, when I was technician, I couldn't make a crown on this. It's, to me, it's a bit too much information, or too many informations to get the right and correct shade. But there are some skilled guys outside which can do such crowns and such restorations. So, do you have questions until now for the analog workflow? No questions, that's good. So, yeah, coming to the digital workflow.
When we're doing the shade taking,
Yeah.
Obviously you've got the cross polarization guys. How do you recommend accounting for specular highlights with flash photography?
That's nearly impossible with flash. Yeah, you need, that's nearly impossible. But if you have a cupboard of the flash, then you can see such areas. Otherwise, it would not work. Yeah, you're right.
Would you prefer twin flash or one?
That's ask me. I prefer from two sides, but others are preferring ring flash. So if you have a good result, so stay with your workflow. That's my opinion. To stay. I believe that with this Smile Light system, it is really easy to use. And before you are working with a really professional camera and you don't know how to adjust things, it will not then stay with this, let's say, simple method. And if you have a good result, then you're fine. The EasyShade, our spectrophotometry system, is working without. We can take the shade here easily. And but also here, to be honest with you, I would prefer also a photo, but I'm coming to this later. So I think a photo is very important, even if it's just made by a mobile phone and not with a special flash. It's better than having no information about the truth. Yeah, this is Iris on the right. She did win the VITA Excellence Award, by the way, in dentures. So yeah, she did win it. So yeah, how is it working? We have a light which is coming out of the EasyShade, going into the tooth, and then the remission of the light. So we have a measurement of different wavelengths which are coming into or back in the device, into a splitter system. And with this, we are learning, or we are knowing what exactly the shade is of the color. Otherwise, it's not working. And also very important, it has, I come to this, but it has different modes. Yeah, different modes, because the information which is sent back, it's different from a crown than from a natural tooth. So we have to put the correct mode into the system. Otherwise, we will not have or not receive the right information which is coming out. So I said this before, I show you the different modes, because I think that's also important to know. And also, in my opinion, important to know that the EasyShade has this kind of rings. So we have two rings of light which are going into the tooth, and only the small detection area is here. So you see it better here in the higher magnification. Only this small area is really detecting or measuring the informations. So lots of light is going into the tooth, and there on this tip we get the information what we are measuring. So we are not having exclusively only the pure shade coordinates. We have mentioned this, influences from fluorescence, we have influence from translucency, and we had to train because we got so many informations back from the tooth. We had to train the easy shade. So we had experts in the group which are getting or did train the easy shade that we will receive the correct shade. So it is somehow artificial intelligence in this easy shade. And yeah, so this has to be trained by people, and just that you show one. So this is how it's working. And then some expert did say, so we had over 100 experts, which were also taking the shade of the tools, not only the easy shade, and then telling the easy shade, okay, this was the 1M2 or this was the 2M2, to train the easy shade. We had over 1,500 determinations of shades from the 100 experts and the easy shade to have a really precise method of measuring. And we are still doing some research on this, and you can update the easy shades always, because we are working always to improve even this, I would say, quite precise system. I come to some studies later about this. So, and then I said you can use it everywhere, also for selection of CAD/CAM material, for composite materials, for teeth. Then for the bleaching, I will talk about this also a little bit more precise. Then, yeah, also for our quality management during the building up, just to know which direction we may have to change. Maybe we may have to go a bit further in which direction. Let's say some reddish effect is missing. Easy shade gives you, okay, you are too yellowish. Put some mask in which is more reddish, and then you can create exactly the result you did measure of the tooth next to your restoration. So we have the different modes. I will not talk too deep about the modes because I will talk about also some solutions later on. We have here the basic color determination. Then we have an average color determination. Average color means that you press on one tooth, because when we are getting older, it's not always the same color at each spot. We can make an average, so this makes it more precise if we have a prosthetic tooth, or yeah, we have to have a partial denture next to the other one. So then, yeah, we are more precise. Let's say it that way. Still not precise, but it is more precise than just taking one shot of a multicolored tooth. And then this is for veneering. We recommend this to have different results, because we have different results in the incisal, in the central and the cervical area. So this makes it a bit more easy for the technician to work with the material. And then, as said already, we get this out of the machine, out of the devices. So we have the 3D master and the classical shades. We have the block, which should be used in this case, and also the bleach number to talk to the patients. And yeah, the traffic symbol is quite simple to understand. I think everybody understands this. Green means good, go for it. Yellow means acceptable. You can do it a little bit better, but it is acceptable. And red means, maybe the patient will not see it, but we will see this. Yeah. So yellowish, here we can, if it's yellow, the C3 in this case, we can look on the numbers. So where is actually the wrong area? So lightness is okay in this case, but the chroma is a bit too high, and in the angle it is too red. So we should add a little bit more yellowish in this, and it also gives us the idea how to mix with the shades. You see, B3 to A4, we can mix into the powder to receive a perfect shade. This is just one example. I will not too much about this, but it helps us during the veneering as well. And then there is the bleaching mode. As mentioned, this is a thing everybody knows. It's growing. In the bleaching mode, we can measure up to 6 teeth where we would like to go, and measuring this. And then we have the bleach number of this, and this with our mobile app, we can send directly to our customer, to our, we can send it also to the customer, to the patient. In the case of bleaching, in my opinion, it's a customer, it's not really a patient, because bleaching is not always necessary. Sometimes we can discuss this later, but yeah, I think it's not always necessary. But yeah, we can send this information to the lab as well. It's somehow easy. We just need to, with Bluetooth, to put the app, open the app, and then with Bluetooth, the Easy Shade connecting. Then we take a picture of the patient. We just say where the lines are, so the eyes and the lip line, or the teeth line, where they are. And then we can actually play with the system. We can play with the system and adjust the bleaching, and then send this. Here you see the symbol. It's the same as with the iPhone in this case. So send it to somewhere via Bluetooth with all the information also to the patient. Okay, you look like this when we do the bleaching. Bleaching, it is, there's a lot of studies behind the bleaching. We have here from Professor Attal, yeah, that's the name. He is in Paris. He did this bleaching. And what he found out, that we cannot bleach over some certain steps. It's impossible. We cannot bleach more. Sometimes we receive a saturation of the bleaching. B, for example, if the B is lower than 25, we can bleach and reach about 10, or in the canines he found out only to 15 in the B value. And in the lightness levels, it's also not always possible to bleach the patient. So we can see makes bleaching sense or makes it not sense. And we are working that we have in the system a bleach predict. It's not ready yet, but to have a real bleach predict that you cannot play with the system, that the system directly tells you, okay, this is how far you come with the bleaching. I think that's quite a good idea, actually, before you start with the bleaching. Otherwise, patient will be disappointed with the result. Yeah, and then, of course, the other measurements, as mentioned, we have a different reflection. That's why I always mention this. So if you have already a ceramic restoration, you should use this mode. Or if you are doing your veneering, sorry for this, your veneering, you can check it with a different. This is very important. Just quick, before we go to some other solutions, just quick to some studies in this subject. This is a study I really like. So we had the shade determination on tooth 1-1 by 3 experienced dental specialists. It was a standardized environment. Actually, it was a gray room where they had to take the shade of 159 VITA employees. They had to go there. There was no way out. They had to go there. And it was a comparison of the result. So it was to check how consistent the 3 guys were. they are experienced, and just now you should think, okay, 3 guys which are taking the shade, how often did they have the same shade of the patient? What do you think? 16%.
Oh,
16%. Only 16%. So it's not always the same shade. But as you have seen, patients, they may not see the difference. So yeah, then there's another study. I also think it's a quite good study. There were 20 different crowns. 20 different crowns. They were made by hand. So like we are used to make crowns, and the shade determination was done by 40 people, also trained guys from the University of Mainz. So technicians, dentists, and assistants, and was with a 3D master system in this case. And they had to do it after 3 weeks. Oh no, they had to do it 3 times after 2 weeks all the time. So rounds, taking the shade, 2 weeks later again, 2 weeks later again. So 3 times. And then they were comparing the results with the easy shade. So how often do you think did they match the same shade to the crown? So as an example, we have a
16%.
crown A3, let's say A3, or no, it's 3D master, so 2M2. And in 2 weeks, you have the same crown. How often are you having the 2M2 again? What do you think? 40 people.
5%.
Yeah, it's only 48%. It's only 48%. And then with the easy shade, what do you think there? 100? None. Same? No? No. 96%. Why? Why not 100? Why not 100? What do you think?
Position.
Correct. Perfect answer. They did not position it in the same spot all the time. And that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Because with the easy shade, you get the color on the point you are measuring and not color of the whole tooth. Exactly. That's perfect answer. So one last study, also from Mainz, Karl Lehmann, he did a lot of studies on this. So we had 16 color samples or color sticks, and also 16 color sticks, but without a name on them. So we had the same colors, so we had to match the color to the color. One with a name and one without a name. And it was 100 people. And yeah, what do you think? How often did they match, or how many percent did match color stick to color stick? Yeah, it's 72%, or in this case 72.5. With the easy shade, it was more accurate, and because the samples are the same always, it is more easy to position them always on the same spot. But yeah, like you mentioned before. But it's not only taking the shade, it's also, and you all know this, it's also the design of the crown which makes makes it more easy or more precise, the color. Because if you remember Jürgen Klopp, I mentioned before, if you remember Jürgen Klopp, it's also not correct. It's just not correct. We have to look on the design. We have to look on the morphology of the teeth. We have to, to see where the gingiva is. Also, the gingiva is very important. We have to look at the midline. It's not only there are so many different things. The midline, how the teeth are positioned, how we are making them, how we are creating them with the lips. And I'm sure the technicians, they know this much better than I do. And here, how we are making this, that it looks natural, that we have the texture ready, that we have all the edges correct, that we have everything like we want to have, and then we are creating a perfect crown. Otherwise, it will not work. It's not only about shape, it's all about shape, it's about gingiva, about this. The profile of the gingiva is important. Then the texture, aesthetic criteria, we all know, we are all talking about the thickness of the teeth. And like here, there are so many influences on this, otherwise it will not work. And here the texture, when we look on this, some of them would never work in my mouth, but in the mouth of this patient, they would work. We have to match this as well, otherwise it will be just not the same, and it will not be as good as it is. But we can create such really nice crowns. We have to just to think about this. And does Kevin ask me to? Oh, it's his fault. So, oh, question, yes. No, it's not uniform color, the shade tab. Okay, okay, so no, we made it like looking like a tooth actually, because it was designed in the 50s. As mentioned, we had before this, we had just like tabs from the color, but we found out that at that time that dentists and technicians, they are like more if they have like a tooth, they can compare teeth to teeth or tooth to tooth, and not like just the shade tabs. We have for the gingiva, we have shade tabs, but technicians are not using it, to be honest. They are not using it. They are using their own tabs, their own mixtures, so we did not push it on the market. We have a gingiva kit in the VM system. Yeah, this is just one color. And yeah, but yeah, hope this answers the question. I don't know if it's answered, but I hope so. So if we are making crowns, if we are building up crowns, it is also important to have this design, the cutback design, so all it should be also somehow directly, and this is possible today, can be directly in the shape of the marmalades. We can connect or see this in polarized filtered pictures. We can see already those areas and then rebuild it in the zirconia, for example. And then it makes it more easy to do the crowns later to receive a more more, let's say, natural crown or natural result of the crown. Since the last years, it is this trend. It's a cutback trend. Let's say it's a cutback trend. Just minimal veneering, and Tom, especially guys like you, which are doing both jobs, it's important to save time in some steps. So cutback veneering, it's getting a must in most of the cases to save some time, to save some time actually to prepare the teeth properly, to take the shade properly, and then they are looking natural. And we just released, because this trend is growing a lot, special liquid ceramic, a new liquid ceramic focused on this kind of workflow. It is it's the same material as our veneering material, Lumex AC. So it's the same material behind it. It's different coloring of the material, and it's already mixed. So it is already a paste. And when you look on such pictures, this was just a white coping, to start with. And this is the result. It's from Robert Konkratz, a friend of mine. He made those crowns. It's just, yeah, starting by a white coping and then creating those huge different crowns by just using a white coping. Yeah, are there some questions regarding this or no? No? There's no.
I have a question. Hi, Michael. Just with the easy shade.
Yeah, we did a study on the different scanners, the intraoral scanners.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
It's it's not as accurate as the easy shade. Why? Because the easy shade is directly on the tooth, but it's getting into the tooth, and the reflection is giving more precise result in shade taking than the intraoral scanners. But when we are in the posterior area, you can work with the result of the intraoral scanner. In the anterior zone, I would not go with this result, but in the posterior area, it's good enough. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Good enough. Yes? Ah, you have some more questions. No questions?
Oh, Dr. Lee, Dr. Sonny, do you have any questions you can ask?
Yeah, I do. I just I'm not sure if the microphone is working. Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me? Hello?
But you have to do both jobs, so
Hello?
you mean taking the shade guide for color match? Yeah, look, the easy shade, as he already said, it's measuring on the spot where you are putting it on or touching the tooth with a shade tab. It's for sure not that easy like with the easy shade, but of course you can do it with the easy shade. And we have such shade tabs for the color, the effect masses, things like this. We can do also like those things. We can have color steps or color guides, which we need a bluish effect, things like this. You can do this, but it's not so easy as with the easy shade where you just press the button, put it on the position, and but in fact you could do this with the shade tabs as well. Makes life just more complex.
But with the easy shade,
Mhm.
would you be able to position it in different parts of
Yeah.
the same tool?
Exactly.
And then you can map out.
Exactly. You can, wait, I maybe have a picture of this. You can position it where you want to have or where you want to detect the color. That's absolutely right. Oops.
I think one of the modes in the easy shade is the 3 different
Yeah.
spots in the tooth. So you set the mode.
Yeah.
And do that. There you go.
Exactly. And then you connect to the mobile app, the mobile assist app, and you can actually put the ring where you did press the easy shade. So you can send this information directly to the lab, and then the lab can see, like this here in this case, they can see, okay, I have to mix. It's already also in the picture. Can have this measurement as well directly in the picture where he has to, so the dentist or the guy who is taking the shade can put it on the spot, and then directly, there we have this mixture, there we have this mixture, and there we have this mixture. Yeah, it is quite helpful. But yeah, we have just 3 spots. That's right. There are some systems which are making a full map of the tools. In my opinion, not a lot of people can work with such a huge amount of information. The systems are working quite good. There is a French system, I forgot the name. They're making a map, but this is very complex to really do exactly what is in the system. And some of the systems are working with Matisse, some of the guys are working with Sascha Hein eLabs concept. So it's getting very complex. The easy shade is not so complex, to be honest, but it is a very easy way, and because we have just the 3 spots, it's really for everyone, it's understandable and helpful. When we go into the Matisse, for I'm sure we are even more accurate with the system, but I don't think that a lot of people can work with such a system. But we are, VITA materials are in the eLab and also in the Matisse system, but it's very complex to make the crown in that way. But, yeah. And Matisse and eLab are working with a picture and the gray card. Maybe you've seen this. Gray card and picture. And then they have a software which is analyzing from the gray card the shade. So this is also a way to make a perfect crown.
I think with this system, because you're actually it's like a touch probe, it's actually hitting the surface. It's isolating all the other factors and just getting the pure color.
Exactly.
When you take a photo, you're getting reflection, you're getting texture,
right?
You're getting all those things as well, which confuse it. The eye can't really. The eye sees what the eye sees, but when you're actually trying to get the overall picture of a tooth that takes all those things into account, this isolates out just the color.
Yeah,
because it's touching the
reflection. So that's right. Yeah. It's touching the surface. It's going in the tooth
directly.
It's
bouncing right off.
Exactly.
Reflecting. So you're eliminating reflection by doing this. So it's essentially like your cross polarization.
Right.
You're eliminating, just getting pure color, but you're eliminating your textures, your reflections, all that.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. It's not as simple.
Yeah. No, it's not simple, but it's for work with it. It makes it more simple. Yeah. Right.
It isolates out the difference.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. Anyway.
The liquid ceramic.
Yes.
What was the name of that again?
Lumex Unique.
Yeah.
And our advertisement is Be Unique.
Is the what's the binder in that one? Is it a water or is it?
No. It's a special liquid. Yeah. Yeah. That's why.
It's not very water tolerant either. Like.
No, it stays like this. It's not dehydrating. Is it dehydrating? It's not dehydrating. And actually, I can show you. We have a texture paste as well. It's working like this. So we have also texture paste to make, especially in the gingiva area, to apply it. Yeah, quite easy. This is the texture. So it's even more like like a paste. Yeah, the other one is more like a liquid ceramic. I will jump a bit to.
Sort of liquid ceramic.
Hey, you've been at our booth.
Yeah, I was at it. Yeah, yeah, I was.
Yeah, we just released it last week. I was showing this on the we were showing this on the IDS, and this is the liquid actually. We were at the IDS it was very interesting. We thought we would just show it, and okay, some will be interested for sure, hopefully, and then people were really, they were already buying. They were pushing us that they can pre-order it. So we were.
I was one of those people. Yeah.
Ah, so see. So yeah, we just released it last week. So really, it's. But we were like, yeah, it was really for us. It was. Yeah. Yeah, it was really for us. It was a really interesting moment because, yeah, and people were asking also. This was also very interesting, asking to come behind the booth and play with the material. Did you do this as
Yeah,
well?
so I had a bit
Yeah. See, so we had this never before. So we're really, really happy about this. And yeah, so releasing was just last week, and the IDS is half a year ago. So. Yeah, yeah, it's unique. It's very unique. Yeah, yeah, be unique.
How does it compare to say Neo?
Look, it's a little bit different to the Mio. Of course, that's the first mover was Mio in this area, and we could talk to people what they are using with the Mio. I say it like it is, and we could change things. So it's more, we believe it's more easy to apply, and our texture is also better than way, or the workflow with the texture is much better than with the Mio. But the Mio is not bad, don't get me wrong, but this is the thing when you are the first. But I'm sure they will now look at ours and maybe they have a second. It's the way normally it goes, but in 1.5 years, because then is the next IDS. So industry is waiting for IDS to present things. Yeah. So some more questions.
I don't know.
Nice.
Where do we get the easy show bar? That's the cost.
So yeah. So otherwise, I say thank you for attending. Thank you for your time, and yeah, I hope we see us again here in Sydney and Down Under. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks to Kevin for the invitation and for the beers, hopefully now.
Once again, thank you, everyone. Do you have any further questions up to now?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yes.
Just like walking away. Oftentimes we see when you're trying in a crown versus when you cement the crown, see that value shift essentially as the cement mineralizes. Do you have any recommendations on how to minimize those changes or avoid them?
we just had before we had something similar. If you have a titanium abutment, it's also changing a bit the color here. We have for the Lunex basis, so the luminary, we have opaque to apply before you are cementing. Actually, the problem with the cementation, especially on titanium, it's not easy to solve. We have also implant abutment. Yeah, it's a cementation system. It's called IA-CEM. It's a yellowish, whitish. So to avoid this, but if it's completely discolored, there are some, if you don't want to use the opaque or something, with clustering or clustering and crystallize twice, then it's opaque. This is avoiding this. And yeah, such things are working, but it's really hard. So especially when we go, I show you. I made this. I had a talk with Christian Potion about this. It's quite interesting because they want to stay always with the same material. And if there is two color or a tooth which is this color, something, it's really hard to find the right color. So this is 6 times the same crown, just on a different tooth step. And the cementations are normally somehow translucent, transparent. They are not blocking the light, so it's not that easy. So we are doing with him, with Christian Poten, the DSD group, now also with the easy shade. They have to take the tooth then easy shade, send this information, and then now it's trying to look, because he wants to stay with the material he's using. But it's not finished yet. So the best is opaque, but this is blocking the light. So it's again not ideal, but this is the only way at the moment, or the implant abutment cementation system. Yeah.
And would you be able to introduce like the coming new VITA products? Maybe take this opportunity.
Coming, so we just released Lumix Unique, which we are happy about. Next coming. So we have a new zirconia, which is multi-translucent. This we released this year also at the IDS, because the IDS is the place where to go. And this was also for shade, very interesting. So I can talk about this a bit. We have the problem with zirconia is you are buying the disc, and then the teeth are not all in the same shade, because the nesting is different, and when they are longer, you have a different result. So we did speak with a lot of laboratories regarding this topic, and we made a new nesting method with our new zirconia. It's multi-translucent. We did make a new nesting method that you are always positioning as high as possible. Then you receive a perfect shape reach. And yeah, as said, we did speak with many different labs to find it correct, because this is really hard to do this, because we learned also that milling centers are using the smallest disc they can have if it's matching in the disc, if the crown is matching. So let's say 14 is enough, then they're using the 14 to save time to do this and that. But the lab, the normal lab, which is a small lab, and they are milling disc, they are using always, let's say, the 18 for everything. It was very interesting. We did travel a lot for this. Before we changed this, we had this nesting. And depends now on the disc you are having, you get a different result of the shade. And that's why we changed it, so that we receive more the right shade. So this was a very interesting learning period. We did, with the ST in this case, we did a lot of testings, and here you see also the different results. So on the left side, it's not glazed. On the right side, it's glazed. So, but the positioning is the same, and you get a different result. And this was also quite interesting for us, because depending which disc you are using, you have a different shade result. And with the empty, we made it like this, so that we have always the perfect positioning. We have always the right shade. Yeah. But I show you another thing with the zirconia. Here, the right side is the VITA material. On the left side is another brand, but it is the same color on the box. Not after the sintering, but on the box it is the same color. Yeah, what is coming new? Of course, we released also some printing material. This will be the next thing. Printing material. We are working on some further printing solutions for sure. Printing is in the coming years a growing market, we believe. I do not know that if everything will ever work with the printing, but we believe that printing itself will grow. And yeah, also we're working on new blocks, new things. Cannot tell you everything. I'm not allowed to, but yeah, at least on the next IDS, we will have some further solutions, I'm sure. So, because IDS, that's the place to go. That's the place where we are showing everything.
Dr. Tholey, going back to a little bit about like a question about zirconia, and what is the sintering time of the zirconia, and what is the how it can do only for single or it can go for like a bridges, and also everyone is struggling to match the zirconia to different material, like the PMMA zirconia to like a 3D printing material, because of the material differences. And do you have any like ideas if you can share?
Yeah, so look, zirconia is the most growing material at the moment. When we look on the market forecast, they all believe that in 5 years, over 70% are made out of zirconia. When we look on the year 2000, we had 60% feldspathic material. Now it's the zirconia. What can we do with the new zirconia? What's the question as far as I understood? Our new zirconia, it's very thin area, just 850 megapascal. So you can do with this material everything. You can do with this material everything because the main area, so where the load is coming on top of the bridges, is 4Y or our ST material before with 1200 megapascal and 46% translucency. So you can do everything with this material. Sinter time, that's the best question you can give me, because we have with our furnace the fastest sintering in the whole world for up to 14 minutes in 15 minutes. We are proud of this. And it's working, and the fit is still precise. Up to 14 units in 50 minutes with our furnace. That's fast. That is amazing. Yeah, so if you like to do it really fast, so just during lunchtime, you can do it with our furnace. Yeah.
Do you have any further questions up to now? Okay. Okay. We don't have. I think this will be the end of Dr. Tholey's presentation. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.